It's very simple. You sit down on Thursday of one year and decide what you want to wear on Thursday a year later. Yeah, for me, it can start anywhere. It can start with a painting. It can start with a photograph or a picture of nature. It gels as color relationships. The color inspires pattern. The patterns I do really rudimentary, childlike sketches, which then translate to nice, even computer-aided designs that look like real fabric, and then from the fabric it goes to a concept of shape, and the fabric sort of tells you what it wants to be. So I'm really just listening. I'm not dictating.
Alexander Julian was practically born in a clothing store. In the early 1970s, Alex set out to modernize traditional menswear with innovative new silhouettes and fabrics. He became the first American fashion designer to design his own cloth.
Well, I think what makes Alex unique is that he's an artist, and he's in an industry dominated by business people and craftsmen, but he really approaches making clothes the same way an artist approaches making a work of art.
I try not to be trendy. I don't really like trendy things. If something is going to go in or out, I don't do it.
You need to look beyond the look of each year and you know, the changing collections, and go to that continuum of material and process.
Design is creative problem solving, and you know what our job is to solve a problem sometimes in advance of a society's knowledge that the problem exists.
Before I met Alex, I wore all black.
Julian's unique use of color quickly captured the popular imagination. He almost single-handedly brought menswear out of the dark ages. The New York Times heralded him as a master colorist.
So once I remember we were in the Tuileries Gardens in Paris, and I noticed that I was watching my father. We stopped at this little pond, and there's all these miniature sailboats, and they were just color-soaked, and he was really pulled in.
He has been influenced by the color field painters. He will talk about that, but I would view it as a much broader influence. I think that if you look really closely at a Monet painting, for example, you know, you step back from it and there's an overall color effect that's created, but you walk up to it and you realize the incredible amount of depth that's there on the surface of the painting and how those different layers of color are creating the effect. And Alex does the same thing with cloth. He really takes the texture and the different weaves of the cloth and makes color effects that are sensational.
The feeling of the hand of the artist, whether it's the weaver in Italy or the artist himself, Julian, putting those colors next to each other, you feel his palette runs through everything that he does.
Like any artist, Alex employs a discernible handwriting. Revisited classics like Argyle diamonds transcend scale and material. Equally ubiquitous are his signature iterations of classic herringbone patterns, as realized in everything from clothing to tabletops to ceiling design.
I look at everything as if it were a textile design. You know, my baseball stadium, when it was finished and built with the 14 colors of seats, you know, you look at it from center field, it's the world's biggest shirt. It's got everything but buttons.